On today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Marvel Legends from Toybiz, the Marvel Legends Onslaught series Loki. This package includes the right arm of Onslaught and also includes a comic. It says Journey into Mystery with Thor, which we'll have a look at when we get this out of package. The figure is 34 points of articulation. You can collect all 6 of the Onslaught series figures to build your own Onslaught. On the back of the package, which figures would you be getting? Well, you have Blackheart, Lady Deathstrike, Pyro, Loki, Abomination, and Green Goblin. Now, before you get your hopes up, unfortunately, Spot doesn't have all the pieces for Onslaught. I've already had a look at Blackheart before. I think I also had I had a look at Abomination, and I had a look at Green Goblin. But truth be told, I don't know where I put all those pieces. I'm so sorry. I'm so very sorry. The read-up, though, says adopted by Odin, Loki could have been a beloved god. However, his jealousy of his foster brother Thor and desire for Odin's throne led him from his honored place. Now this rogue prince will stop at nothing to destroy Thor and all he holds dear, to gain control of awesome Asgard. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Loki. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. For your comic, you get number 116 from May of the mighty Thor. This would have also cost you 12 cents. 12 cents if you went back and bought this. If you could get into a DeLorean, travel back in time, and go to your local convenience store and buy Thor, 12 cents. Can you get a comic now for 12 cents? No. What can you get for 12 cents? Not a whole lot. Anyways, it says the time has come for the trial of the gods. There you go. Moving that to the side, and just bring the camera down a little bit. Of course, the one piece that also comes with Loki is the arm of Onslaught. I think a lot of people were a little disappointed that Onslaught was as small as he was. He really could have been a much bigger figure, but this was during the time that they started scaling down the sizes of their pieces. Gone certainly were the days of figures such as the Sentinel, the very impressive Apocalypse. Those figures, they were gone, and we were getting smaller figures. But a really nice looking hand. What am I going to do with the one hand, even though I really can't build Onslaught? I don't know. But a very impressive piece, to say the least. Putting that to the side, Loki also comes with a sword with some Asgard writing on the blade there. Not much in the way of color, just basically a silver with a black handle, but for what it needs to be, and it being a sword, it does its job very well. It's a pliable rubber, so I would say it could get warped over the course of time unless you are very careful and pack your stuff away very pristinely. If you're like somebody who lives like hoarders, your sword's probably going to be like this, just like a half circle. So be very careful when posing, be very careful when also putting these away. I don't know why I felt the need to point that all out. Anyways, moving that to the side. And let's have a look at Loki. Loki's a big name now. Maybe not so much back then, but Loki's a big guy now. I mean, he's got his own, he's had a couple of movies, you know, Avengers, some Thor going on there. Yeah, Loki is the bomb now. Also, as they do with all these movies, they sexify these heroes and villains. I mean, if you look at this Loki's kind of old, a little haggardy. Oh, they don't do that. No. In the movies, everybody's got to be a good-looking guy. Even Loki, even the master of mischief, the god of mischief, Loki, you gonna have to make him into some sexy. Spot says sexy. I mean, come on. But yeah, there you go. This Loki is a little more, definitely more rooted in comics for the fact of the way he looks. Again, he's a little more non-modern, I guess, as what we got now. I mean, really, even in the comics now, All the heroes aren't drawn really as super old guys. They're all drawn as good look. I mean, look at even Superman. Superman's drawn now, New 52 Superman. He's a nice young guy. You don't need that Superman S curl. Come on. Superman's like a good looking supermodel now. Anyways, where are we going with this? As it stands, this is still a really phenomenal piece. Don't sell yourself short, Loki. Just because you don't look like this now doesn't mean this isn't a figure you'd want to pick up. I mean, the big draw for this figure is these incredibly large horns on top of his head. A trait that you would come to find with all Loki pieces. Even really in the movie, Loki had at one point the helmet with the long horns. He's a little more also... I'm not really even sure, like more medieval kind of style, where he's got, looks like a fur cape and more like a tunic kind of thing going on there as well. He's still got the green and the yellow, which are very common traits for Loki. And I'm pretty sure that this figure also came with a variant as well, which I don't unfortunately have, but the variant would have been just a retool of his head. He's not tall. I feel like he's a little bit shorter than some of the other Marvel Legends, but really phenomenal paint overall on this figure. Despite the fact that he's got all this extra stuff on it too, his articulation is still really solid too. His head, I think his head is probably the most limited. You can move his head up and down, but really this is as far as you're going to get. You can't really do too much. And also, in case you were wondering, no, his helmet isn't removable. It is glued on there. When you get to his shoulders, though, his shoulders limited, very limited by his shoulder pads. They really restrict his movement. His arms can go to about there. That's really it. They can move forward, they can move back, but out, that's about all you're going to really get. He still has the swivel in the bicep, still has a double bend in the elbow, which is a nice touch, and he still has a hinge and swivel in his hand. His hands are perfectly posed, perfectly sculpted, really, for holding the sword. I wish he had come with a little more in the way of accessories, though. He has the upper torso crunch, swivel still in the waist, and the legs go forward, back, out, swivel in the thigh, a nice double bend at the knee, swivel right at his these Buccaneer-style boots, a hinge in the foot, and finally a hinge in the toe. He does also have peg holes, though he really doesn't come with a display stand. With Toybiz, really, it was a case that the older lines came with stands. Pretty much all of them came with stands. Then when they started getting the Build-A-Figure pieces, those sets really didn't come with display stands. So Loki, as a result, doesn't come with any sort of display stand, but still can stand fairly well on his own. He's a little back heavy by that his cape is, there's no give. I mean, it's pliable, but this is a good heavy cape, so it's going to mean he's a little back heavy. I don't know, I don't think you can, well, there is a peg hole there, so maybe you can actually remove it. And the answer is yes, you can remove it, which lightens his load a little bit as well. And if you don't want this big bulky cape, you can just put it to the side. Loki, yeah, he's big guy on town now. I mean, he's got movies, he's got everything else going on there. Little younger too than what we're looking at right here, but still, this Loki is still a phenomenal looking figure. Nice facial sculpt, nice paint, and really, still looking at him, he's classic Loki all around. Loki, I'm going to give you a solid 7.5, my friend. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Toybiz Marvel Legends Onslaught series, Loki. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. Spot's going to have more videos heading your way. Thanks for watching. See you next time.